Hey everyone, I am Sumit and today I will be walking you through my SQL Business Analytics project for Atlic Hardware. This project allowed me to perform financial analytics, extract top market, customers and products. And I have also built store procedures to automate our insights. I will take you through every step from querying raw data to transforming it for business analytics. So let's get started. So the first step was to import all the dataset into MySQL. The key tables I worked with includes DIM customer. It contains customer details like customer name, IDs and markets. Then DIM product. It includes product codes, categories and names. Then we have fact sales monthly, which contains stores monthly sales data including quantity sold, gross price and discount. Then we have fact actual estimate, contains both actual and forecasted sales quantity. And then we have other two tables called fact gross price and fact pre-invoice deduction. So it is mainly used for financial calculation like invoice deductions and other things. So the first business problem was to retrieve the customer code for Chroma, which is one of the Atlic's retail partner. To do this, I wrote an SQL query to fetch the customer ID for Chroma from the DIM customer table. So this gave us the customer code for Chroma, which we later used in fetch sales data. So once we had the customer code, we used it to extract all sales transactions related to Chroma for the fiscal year 2021. Now Atlic follows a fiscal year that starts in September, not January. To handle this, I first created a normal SQL query to extract the fiscal year from the transaction dates. The logic was simple. So if the month is September or later, the fiscal year is the current year. And if the month is before September, the fiscal year is the previous year. Since fiscal years don't always align with calendar years, so we used this function to shift months accordingly. So this fetched all relevant sales transaction, giving us a complete picture of Chroma's purchases in fiscal year 2021. Now, since we needed to reuse this calculation, I created a user-defined function to automate the fiscal year extraction. Now we could apply this function directly in any query to extract the fiscal year dynamically. The next step was to calculate gross sales for Chroma India. Gross sales are derived from the number of units sold multiplied by gross price per unit. To get the data, I joined the fact sales monthly table with the fact gross price table using product codes. Now that we had transaction level gross sales, we needed to aggregate the data to get monthly sales trends. So this query sums up gross sales for each month. Now what if we need to find monthly gross sales for different customers? Then we have to again write the same query. But instead of running separate queries for each customer, I created a store procedure. So that allows user to simply input a customer code and retrieve their monthly gross sales report dynamically. Finally, I created a market batch store procedure. So this helps categorize market based on their total sales quantity. If the total sales exceeds 5 million units, then the market is assigned as a gold badge. Otherwise, it gets as a silver badge. This store procedure makes it easy to categorize market dynamically. For example, if we want to check the badge for India in 2021, I would just simply run the store procedure, then enter India in the market section and year 2021 in the fiscal year section. So this will return whether India qualifies for a gold or silver badge based on total sales. With that, we have successfully completed the first part of our SQL project, from retrieving customer codes, generating gross sales report and applying fiscal year logic to categorize markets. This project covered multiple aspects of SQL data analysis. In the next part of this project, I will dive deeper into net sales analysis, identifying top markets, top customer and top products. And I will also create dynamic store procedures to automate this. So before ranking the top customer, products and market, we first need to prepare the data for net sales calculation. So this requires merging multiple tables to get a complete data set. The first step was to create a common table expression or CTE to calculate gross sales and apply pre-invoice discount. At this stage, we have combined sales transaction with product details, gross price and pre-invoice discounts. However, we need to reuse this calculation in later steps. So to simplify, we created a view instead of repeating the entire logic. Or let's say to improve query efficiency and reusability, I created 3 views. So the first view is sales pre-invoice discount views. So this view simplifies query by storing gross sales and pre-invoice discount. Now instead of recalculating every time, we can directly reference the sales pre-invoice discount view for the net invoice sales. The second view is sales post-invoice discount. I have included post-invoice discount by joining with this fact post-invoice deduction table. Now our dataset includes both pre-invoice and post-invoice deduction. Finally, the third view, which is net sales calculation. Here I computed net sales after all deduction have been applied. So now we have a fully processed dataset that include net sales and ready for analysis. With our net sales data ready, the next step was to identify top market by net sales. So this query groups the data by market, calculates total net sales in millions and sorts the result. And to make this dynamic, I created a store procedure that allows user to input a fiscal year and the number of top markets that they want to see. Like here I entered 2021 as the fiscal year and requested the top 5 markets by net sales. The store procedure automatically fetches the result based on the processed data set. Next, we analyze the top customer by net sales. The customer details are stored in the dim customer table, so we joined it with our net sales view. To make this dynamic, I created a store procedure where user can input a market, fiscal year, and the number of top customers they want to retrieve. Now to find the top customer by net sale, we can simply run our store procedure and input the market name, fiscal year, and number of customers we want to see. So this retrieves the top 5 customer in India for fiscal year 2021. So next we analyze the top products by net sales, and similar to the previous one, I've also created a store procedure for this. To find the top products by net sales, we can simply run our store procedure and specify the fiscal year and the number of top products we want to see. So this retrieves the top 5 product for the fiscal year 2021. And that brings us to the end of this SQL project for Atlic Hardware. So we started by retrieving raw sales data, applied fiscal year logic, calculated net sales, and built dynamic store procedure to analyze top market, customer, and product. So instead of running long queries, we now have an automated way to extract business insight with just a few inputs. This project really helped me to strengthen my SQL skills, especially in areas like data transformation, stored procedures, and query optimization. So that's all for today, and if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.